Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to do an everyday makeup look that I normally do for work. So yeah, without further ado, we'll get right to the video. So we're starting off with a L'Oreal Infallible Primer, which I've used before. So it's just a silicone base primer that I like to put on before my makeup. So I normally just put it around the T-zone area to cover my pores and to do some oil control as well. I pretty much put it under anything, whether it's BB cream or foundation. So today I'm trying out a new BB cream foundation. So what it's actually called is Rose Glam Moisture Cover Foundation by April Skin. So currently it is 40% off and it comes to a total US dollar wise $18.50. So you know, that's around about $25 Australian. However, there's also a shipping fee. So I tend to like using these BB creams for work, mainly because there is included SPF in the foundation, and you know, being in Australia we are exposed to a lot of UV rays, so it's always good to have a bit of SPF in your foundation. So it has an SPF of 30 and it comes to about 20 grams. Just letting you know that you can only get this foundation online currently. They don't have any stores here, so you can head to aprilskin.com if you want to pick it up. So they come with this rose brush, which have really dense bristles. It's not the softest thing out there. I'm just gonna say it. But it does spread the foundation well enough. It is a little streaky, so what I decided to do today was do half my face with the brush, and then I also got some puffs as well, so I'm just going to do the other side of my face with puffs as well as a comparison. So now I'm going to use the puff, and application's pretty easy with the puff as well. You just kind of wipe it across the balm and just tap it on. So this is probably a better method if you want to actually layer the foundation, as the brush tends to move it around a little too much if you want to cover certain pigmentations, as I have on my cheeks. But using the puff basically means no streaks. It's pretty easy to apply. So the next thing I'm going to use is a Tony Moly Pandas Dream Brightening Eye Base. So I use it just to cover my dark eye circles. I have pretty much destroyed the pore stick at this point, but we are still using it. So I'm gonna use a buffing brush from Nude by Nature, which is the one I always use, just to buff it into the skin. So what I actually found with using the brush was that it was a little bit streaky and it moved the foundation a bit. So I'm actually just using a dampened beauty blender just to, you know, dab it in to get rid of the streaks and make sure it's well done. So next I'm using the Conceal and Correct palette by NYX. I'm using the green to correct for the redness, which I always do, and I'm going to use a damp beauty blender yet again to just pat the color in and to make sure that I'm not moving the green too much from where I actually want it. So next I'm going to be using the yellow from the same palette, and this is to yet again correct for darkness. So I use it under my eyes, around the creases of my nose, and around the corner of my mouth as well, because I tend to have a little pigmentation there, and also it's better to cover up a bit of the lip when you do liquid lip, which makes it easier to line later on, basically. Now I'm just gonna blend it in with a damp beauty blender. So the next step is using a setting powder just to set the concealer. So I'm using a Essence matte setting powder. It does have flashback and it is one that I use often, but yeah, it's white, so it's flashback and I've smashed it. I am using a different one now, so look out for a future video to see which one I use now. It doesn't have flashback, so it's a lot better. So I basically use it just to cover my oily T-zone area and my smile lines, because that's where I get creasing as well. And yeah, just pack it on around those areas. Next step is the Revlon Photo Ready Skin Light in the color 400 Bronze Light. It's basically a kind of shiny metallic bronzer, which I use predominantly just to, you know, soften and shade in the jawline and the upper forehead. I don't like to use it on my cheeks because I feel like sometimes it's a bit too harsh, so I prefer powder in that sense. Now, taking a powder brush by Nude by Nature, I am going to put powder foundation on. I currently use the Revlon Nearly Naked Mineral Powder Foundation in 030 medium. It does have an SPF of 15. It comes in about 15 grams. So I really like this one. It's pretty much exactly my shade. So I still have a couple of extras in my stash. So I pretty much just blend it all over the face. I use it kind of like a setting powder as well, just to make sure I'm not too sticky from the foundation, that it's all just rubbed in really well. So next I'm going to add some highlight. This is another palette by NYX. It's just a contour palette. The highlight here really doesn't do all that much for you, but I just use it anyways. And then I'm using a angled blush brush by Nude by Nature, and finding the hollows in my cheek, I am just gonna blend it out towards my ears. I don't like contour to be too strong, so I probably just go in about twice on this one. It's very easy to blend, it doesn't grab onto the skin. It's not heavily pigmented, but I'm okay with that. So if you like that, then it's good for you. The next thing is blush by Nude by Nature. They only have one blush. It's very highly pigmented, so be very careful when using it. A little goes a really, really long way. So I'm using the same angled blush brush and just sweeping it mostly around the apples of my cheeks. If you do get too much on it, just make sure you tap it off and just spot the brush on your cheek first. Don't just swipe it on, otherwise you're going to end up looking like a clown. Next, I'm getting a fan brush by Smashbox and using the Benefit Dandelion highlight. I just pick a little bit up on the brush like so and hit it right on the top of my cheeks. This highlighter is very, very natural. It's pinky and there you can see just a little bit of the sparkles in it. If you want a blinding one, this is not for you, but seeing as I don't want to blind anyone at work, this one's perfect. It just gives me a little bit of shine on the cheeks where I want it, and I feel a little bit special, so this one I love. Last but not least, I'm using the Laneige Brush Pack. This is a pore blur, just to go over the areas that I have pores. At this point, I do realize that I look a bit powdery, but that's okay. Next, I'm using a Vanilla & Co. Deep Brown brow auto pencil. I like to just line the bottoms of my eyebrows first lightly, and then I'll do the top so I have an outline, and then I'll fill it in. Then using a spoolie by Nude by Nature, I just brush it out so I don't have any harsh lines, and I can brush the hand direction I want, and there's no too much pigmentation in any area. So next, after that, is the Kate Super Sharp Liner. I bought this one online and I love it because it does really well on top of eyeshadow, and by itself is very, very black. I like the super slim tip. It is a felt tip one, but yeah, it's very good. Last but not least, the liquid lip. I'm using a Stila Stay All Day liquid lip. The color is Patina. It is a supposedly all-day formula, and honestly it's really good. I've been using it for work these past couple of weeks and it's fantastic. It smells exactly like crayons to me, and I don't mind it. The application is pretty easy. The applicator is very good as well. Yeah, that's all I have to say about it. So last but not least, I am just going to lock it in with the Mario Badescu setting spray. It isn't very, very long wear, but it smells fantastic and I love it. And there we go. That is my wake up look for work. Very simple. I do the same thing every day because I honestly can't be bothered at 6 AM in the morning. So there we go. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, hit the subscribe button, thumbs up. Heads up, I have ordered a new Nude by Nature set. So I'll be doing a mini haul video, and I'll be giving away, because I bought two, one of the sets. So make sure you are subscribed so you can see the video when it comes up, and I'll let you know the details of the giveaway in that video. So thank you so much, and I'll see you in the next one.